Hey everyone, welcome. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite snack, and let's talk about something near and dear to all our hearts: video games. Remember that first time? That moment the world just melted away and you were completely sucked into a universe made of pixels and code? That feeling is universal, isn't it? It was the moment we all became gamers, members of a tribe that understood the profound joy of conquering a digital dragon. These aren't just games, they're memories. It's a bond that connects us, a shared history written in cheat codes and extra lives. And that's exactly why we're here today, to celebrate that shared passion and to look at where this incredible journey is heading next, because something big is on the horizon. What makes gaming so captivating? To outsiders it might seem odd, but we know the secret. It's about the journey. Gaming is the ultimate escape, where reality is suspended. The secret sauce is immersion. It's a playground for the imagination. This is why gaming is a culture, and it's about the challenge. That feeling when you finally succeed is a rush like no other. One of the most incredible things about gaming is how it smashes through barriers. It doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, or what you do for a living. When you're in a match, you're all speaking the same language. The language of strategy, of teamwork, of headshots, and of that universally understood sign of respect at the end of a match, the GG or good game. It's a simple two-letter acknowledgement that transcends culture. It says, "You fought well, I respect your skill, let's do this again sometime." It's the digital equivalent of a firm handshake, a nod of sportsmanship in a world built of code. This shared language has built some of the most vibrant and dedicated communities on the planet. From massive online forums and bustling Discord servers to packed convention halls where people cosplay as their favorite characters, gamers have found their people. We've formed guilds, clans, and fire teams with people we've never met in person, yet we trust them with our digital lives. We've spent hours theory crafting the perfect character build with strangers from halfway across the world, united by a common goal, to get that sweet, sweet epic loot. These connections are real, forged in the fires of co-op campaigns and competitive ladders. Think about it. We've navigated treacherous dungeons with a healer from Japan, captured a flag with a sniper from Brazil, and built a sprawling castle with an architect from Germany. These shared experiences create genuine friendships. The lines on the map fade away when you're all focused on a common objective, whether it's taking down a raid boss or just having a laugh while you mess around in a sandbox world. Gaming is a social glue, a way to connect and collaborate in a space where your in-game skill and personality matter more than anything else. It's a powerful, unifying force in an often divided world, and this global community is only getting bigger and more connected. With the rise of streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube, gaming has become a spectator sport watched by millions. We don't just play games anymore, we watch others play them, learning new strategies, being entertained by charismatic personalities, and celebrating incredible moments of skill together as a massive global audience. The chat flies by, a waterfall of emotes and reactions, all part of this shared experience. It's a testament to the fact that the love of gaming is a powerful, binding force that brings us all a little closer. GG indeed. We love games and they connect us, but we're here to look forward to the future of gaming. The ground is shifting and it's about to get a whole lot weirder and smarter thanks to two little letters, AI. AI isn't just about smarter enemies, it's a fundamental shift in how games are made and experienced. Imagine worlds that evolve around you, stories generated in real time, and characters who remember your actions. This is the roadmap, and we're going to explore how AI will change gaming forever. We'll look at bold predictions and ask big questions, so buckle up because the next level is loading. Before arcades or consoles, there was the primordial soup, massive, room-sized computers at universities. Gaming wasn't a business, it was a happy accident. In 1962, Steve Russell created Space War on a PDP-1. It was a simple two-player dogfight, revolutionary because it was fun. The game spread through shared code, the first viral game across the ARPANET. Ralph Baer's Brown Box let you play games like ping pong on a regular TV. These were the creation stories of our digital world, born from a desire to play. The idea of video games as a billion-dollar industry was pure science fiction, waiting for one simple idea. Pong was the game that made video games mainstream. In 1972, Atari's Pong, a digital table tennis, hit bars and arcades, simple yet addictive. The first machine jammed with quarters proved people would pay to play. Pong's easy-to-learn gameplay and iconic boop sound made it a sensation. Atari's home version, released with Sears, brought video games into living rooms for the first time. Pong's success launched the home console market and Atari's rise. Two paddles, one dot, Pong started it all. Pong's success sparked the arcade's golden age. Space Invaders in 1978 introduced high scores and fierce competition, causing a coin shortage in Japan. Pac-Man followed, appealing to all ages and genders, becoming a cultural icon. Arcades exploded with creativity. Asteroids, Donkey Kong, Centipede, Tron, each new cabinet a new world. Players chased leaderboard glory, pouring in quarters for bragging rights. The arcade was king, a neon-lit battleground of innovation. It felt like the golden era would never end. While arcades thrived, home gaming evolved fast. Atari's 2600 with interchangeable cartridges became the must-have system. Rivals like Intellivision and ColecoVision sparked the first console wars, each boasting better graphics or arcade ports. Playground debates raged. Atari, Intellivision, or ColecoVision. Competition drove rapid innovation and a flood of new games. Even non-tech companies jumped in, chasing the video game gold rush. But unchecked growth was building a dangerous bubble. In 1983, the video game market crashed spectacularly. A flood of low-quality games eroded trust. Atari's Pac-Man and E.T. became infamous flops. Unsold cartridges were buried in a desert landfill. Retailers abandoned video games. The industry shrank by 97% in 2 years. The word video game became toxic. The party was over. Many thought home consoles were just a passing fad. The future of gaming looked bleak. Out of the ashes, Nintendo revived gaming with the NES. Clever marketing rebranded it as an entertainment system, not a game console. Strict quality control and the Nintendo seal of quality restored consumer trust. Bundled with Super Mario Bros., the NES offered a new standard of fun and adventure. The system was a smash hit, rebuilding the industry from scratch. Mario didn't just save the princess, he saved video games. A new era, and the next console war was about to begin. After Nintendo resurrected the industry, the 16-bit era was a glorious battleground. But on the horizon, a seismic shift was rumbling. It was about adding a whole new dimension. The move to three-dimensional polygons was monumental. It blew our collective minds. The seeds of three-dimensional gaming were planted in the arcades with games like Virtua Fighter and Virtua Racing. Early attempts like Star Fox on the SNES gave us a tantalizing taste. The real three-dimensional revolution arrived with the next generation of consoles. This transition was about more than just graphics. It was about immersion. It was a new frontier for gaming, a wild and uncharted territory filled with incredible promise. In the early 90s, Nintendo and Sega ruled the console world. Then, a challenger appeared, Sony. Famous for the Walkman and Trinitron TVs, Sony decided to enter the gaming arena with the PlayStation. Launched in the mid-90s, it was a sleek machine using CDs instead of cartridges, a massive game-changer. CDs allowed for full-motion video, high-quality audio, and bigger game worlds. Sony's marketing targeted teenagers and young adults, positioning the PlayStation as trendy technology. Final Fantasy VII became the system's killer app, making the PlayStation a cultural phenomenon and the new king of consoles. While Sony used CDs, Nintendo stuck with cartridges for the Nintendo 64. The N64's cartridges had less storage than a PlayStation CD and were more expensive to manufacture. This alienated third-party developers like Square, who took Final Fantasy to the PlayStation. Despite this, the Nintendo 64 was a beloved machine defined by pure fun. It launched with Super Mario 64, which set the standard for three-dimensional platforming. The Nintendo 64 was the king of couch multiplayer. Games like Mario Kart 64, GoldenEye 007, and Super Smash Bros. Were legendary. After the N64, Nintendo released the GameCube in 2001. It was a quirky, compact purple cube. The GameCube featured some of the best first-party games of its generation. The GameCube cemented Nintendo's role as the beloved, eccentric innovator. By the turn of the millennium, Sony was the undisputed champion, and Nintendo was the revered veteran. The console market seemed to be settled, but a new giant was stirring, one with deeper pockets than anyone else in the game: Microsoft. The company that dominated the PC software world with Windows saw the massive success of the PlayStation and decided they needed a piece of the action. They were worried that consoles were becoming all-in-one entertainment boxes, that could threaten the PC's place in the living room. So in classic Microsoft fashion, they decided to build their own box to compete. And honestly, they weren't messing around. This box, unveiled in 2001, was the Xbox. It was big, black, and green, and it was an absolute beast. It was essentially a custom-built PC crammed into a console's body, far more powerful than the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. It had a built-in hard drive, a novel feature at the time, which allowed for game saves without memory cards, faster loading, and the ability to store downloaded content. Microsoft leveraged its PC gaming heritage, making it easier for developers to port their games over. It was a brute force entry into the market, backed by a marketing budget of hundreds of millions of dollars. Of course, a powerful console is nothing without a powerful game. Microsoft knew they needed a system seller, a killer app to rival Mario and Final Fantasy. They found it in a little game from a developer called Bungie. That game was Halo Combat Evolved. Halo was a revelation. It was a first-person shooter with a gripping sci-fi story, incredible graphics, smart enemy AI, and most importantly, console controls that felt absolutely perfect. It single-handedly defined what a modern shooter should be. The adventures of the iconic super soldier, Master Chief, became synonymous with the Xbox brand. Halo wasn't just a game, it was the reason to buy an Xbox. The original Xbox fought hard and managed to carve out a solid second place behind the all-conquering PlayStation 2. It established Microsoft as a serious player in the console space and laid the groundwork for its future successes. It was a statement of intent. Microsoft had proven that it could build great hardware and foster incredible exclusive games. The console war, which had been a two-horse race for years, was now a permanent three-way brawl between Sony, Nintendo, and the new green giant from Redmond. The stage was set for the next generation, where the battle would move from the living room couch to the entire world. For years, multiplayer gaming meant being in the same room with friends. The internet was the domain of PC gamers. Microsoft's Xbox brought online gaming to consoles. In 2002, Microsoft launched Xbox Live. It was a unified, easy-to-use online service with voice chat. This was revolutionary. Halo 2's online multiplayer was a phenomenon. It became the digital hangout spot for millions. Xbox Live became the gold standard. Sony responded with PlayStation Network, and online functionality became standard. The rise of online play fundamentally changed how we played and how games were made. The battlefield was now global. While Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft battled for living room supremacy, a quiet revolution started in our pockets. Mobile gaming used to be a joke. Clunky snake on your Nokia. Then in 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone, and everything changed. The iPhone was a powerful computer with a massive touchscreen. A year later, the App Store launched, opening the floodgates. This created a new type of gamer: your mom, your grandpa, your boss. Gaming was no longer confined to the couch, it was with you everywhere. Mobile gaming became the single largest segment of the gaming market. The pocket-sized device was now a pocket-sized arcade. The iPhone and the App Store built the playground, and Angry Birds invited the world to play. In 2009, Rovio released this simple physics puzzler. Use a slingshot to crush the green pigs who stole their eggs. It was absurd, charming, and addictive. Angry Birds was a cultural touchstone downloaded billions of times. It spawned merchandise, movies, and animated series. It proved a mobile game could be a world-conquering franchise. It defined the platform and showed the potential of the App Store. The success of Angry Birds triggered a digital gold rush. Developers flooded the App Store, leading to creative and successful casual games. A new kingdom had risen in our pockets. While mobile gaming was bringing new players into the fold, another parallel revolution was happening on PCs and consoles. For decades, making and publishing a video game was an expensive, high-risk proposition. You needed a big team, big funding, and a deal with a big publisher like EA or Activision, who would handle manufacturing and distribution. This meant that games were often designed by committee, focus-tested to death, and made to appeal to the broadest possible audience. Creativity was often stifled in favor of playing it safe. But just like with mobile, new digital distribution platforms like Steam on PC, Xbox Live Arcade, and the PlayStation Network changed the rules. Suddenly, small independent developers, indies, could create a game in their garage and sell it directly to millions of people without ever needing a publisher's permission. This was a seismic shift. It was like the punk rock movement of the 70s or the indie film boom of the 90s, but for video games. The gatekeepers were gone. The inmates were finally running the asylum, and they brought with them a tidal wave of fresh, personal, and wonderfully weird ideas that the big publishers would never have touched. These games didn't need to sell 5 million copies to be a success. They just needed to find their audience. The indie explosion gave us some of the most creative and memorable games of the modern era. We got Braid, a mind-bending puzzle platformer with a poignant story about time and regret. We got Limbo, a hauntingly beautiful and terrifying black-and-white journey through a nightmare world. We got Fez, a brilliant game that let you rotate a two-dimensional world in three-dimensional space to solve puzzles. These games weren't focused on photorealistic graphics or explosive set pieces. They were focused on unique gameplay mechanics, deeply personal storytelling, and striking art styles. They were proof that a small team with a powerful vision could create something truly special. This movement completely revitalized the industry. Indies weren't afraid to take risks. They explored genres that had been forgotten by the big studios, like punishingly hard platformers or deeply narrative-driven walking simulators. They tackled mature themes and told stories that were personal, emotional, and thought-provoking. The success of these games showed the big publishers that there was a huge market for unique, creative experiences. The line between indie and AAA began to blur, as indie hits became massive mainstream successes and AAA developers started to borrow ideas from their smaller, more agile counterparts. The Asylum, it turned out, was a pretty great place to be. In the middle of this indie explosion, one game came along that wasn't just a success. It was a world-changing phenomenon. It didn't have a story. It didn't have high-end graphics. In fact, its blocky, low-resolution aesthetic was its most defining feature. It wasn't released as a finished product, but as a work in progress, an alpha version that players could buy and help shape. That game was Minecraft. Created by a single Swedish developer, Marcus Notch Persson, Minecraft was less of a game and more of a digital sandbox. It dropped you into a procedurally generated world made of cubes and said, "Okay, go." There were no instructions, no objectives, no quest markers. You had to figure everything out for yourself. How do you survive the night when monsters come out? You punch a tree to get wood, you craft a workbench, you build a shelter. That simple loop of survival, exploration, and creation was pure genius. It gave players total freedom to do whatever they wanted. Some focused on surviving and fighting monsters. Others ignored that completely and dedicated themselves to building. Players recreated the Starship Enterprise, the entire kingdom of Westeros, and even working computers, all within the game's simple, blocky world. It was the ultimate expression of player creativity. Minecraft spread not through massive marketing campaigns, but through word of mouth, especially on a new platform called YouTube. Players would record their adventures, their building projects, and their tutorials, creating a vibrant community of creators who shared their passion for the game. It became a sensation with kids who were drawn to its open-ended nature and limitless possibilities. It was like a bottomless box of digital Legos, a safe and creative space for them to play and socialize with their friends. Parents and educators even embraced it, seeing its value in teaching problem-solving, resource management, and collaboration. The success of Minecraft was staggering. It became one of the best-selling video games of all time, with hundreds of millions of copies sold across every platform imaginable. In 2014, Microsoft purchased the game and its developer Mojang for an eye-watering $2.5 billion. That's billion, with a B, for a game that started as one person's passion project. Minecraft proved that a game didn't need a $100 million budget or photorealistic graphics to change the world. All it needed was a simple, powerful idea and the freedom for players to make it their own. It was a true landmark, a testament to the power of indie development. The rise of mobile and indie gaming shifted who gets to make them. For the first time, the tools to create and distribute video games became accessible to almost everyone. Game engines like Unity and Unreal Engine became free for small creators to use. This democratization has had a profound effect on the gaming landscape. We're now seeing stories and perspectives in games that were never represented before. A high school student can now create and publish a game telling a story that's deeply personal. The floodgates of creativity have been thrown wide open. Platforms like Roblox have created an entire economy around user-generated content. It's an incredible evolution, turning players into active creators, fostering a new generation of designers. The last couple of decades have completely reshaped the gaming world. It's in our pockets, on our phones, and in the hands of passionate, independent creators all over the world. This explosion of accessibility and creativity has set the stage perfectly for the next great revolution. Let's talk about AI in gaming. It's been a core part of video games since the beginning. Anytime you play against the computer, you're playing against an AI. From the moment a ghost started chasing you in Pac-Man, you were going head-to-head with AI. Those 4 ghosts in Pac-Man each had its own distinct AI personality and behavior. This simple AI design is what made the game so compelling. It's what controls the Goombas in Super Mario Bros. And how your opponent drives in a racing game. For decades, game AI was built on simple rules and decision trees. AI is a foundational pillar of game design that's been with us for over 40 years. The revolution we're on the cusp of is about its evolution. The ghost in the machine is about to get a major upgrade. Let's be honest, for every moment of brilliant AI, there have been many moments that were less than brilliant. The history of game AI is a glorious comedy of errors. Who hasn't sniped a whole platoon of oblivious soldiers? It's a rite of passage. We all have a favorite story of dumb AI, like the Metal Gear guard who ignores a suspicious box, or the RPG enemy who prefers sword fights to ranged attacks. These moments break immersion in hilarious ways. For years, game AI meant enemies running at you, regardless of obstacles. Creating smart AI is difficult, and processors were used for graphics instead. The goal was to create good enough AI that was fun to fight. The result was often digital lemmings marching to their doom for our entertainment. We've come to love this charming stupidity. It's predictable, exploitable, and makes us feel smart. The idiotic AI of gaming's past is part of its charm and a shared experience. But as technology advances, the days of dumb AI are numbered. We often focus on enemies when discussing game AI, but AI is the invisible puppet master behind almost every aspect of our games, creating the illusion of a living world. From flocking birds to city traffic, environmental AI makes game worlds feel dynamic. Consider your AI companions. Developers work hard to make them helpful, but not overpowered. AI also acts as a director, like in Left 4 Dead. It monitors your situation and adjusts the game for the best experience. This unseen AI is everywhere, from physics engines to crowd simulations. AI has been the silent hero of game development, building the worlds we love. One of the most powerful ways AI has transformed gaming is through procedural content generation, or PCG. This is where you teach a computer a set of rules and then let it create game content. Levels, worlds, items, quests, all by itself. Instead of handcrafting every single cave and dungeon, they design an AI that can generate a near-infinite variety of them. This is AI as a creative partner, a world-building engine. Games like Diablo used procedural generation to randomize its dungeon layouts, adding immense replayability. More recently, games like No Man's Sky have taken this concept to an astronomical scale, using procedural generation to create an entire universe. This AI-driven approach allows smaller teams to create massive worlds that would be impossible to build by hand. Think of games like Hades or The Binding of Isaac. It can be used to generate stories, quests, and even music. Procedural generation is the first major step towards truly dynamic, ever-changing game worlds. We've seen how AI has been the secret sauce, but now we stand at the threshold of a new era. The next generation of AI, powered by advancements in machine learning and neural networks, is learning to play chess. It's about creating digital entities that can learn, adapt, and strategize in ways that mimic human intelligence. Machine learning allows an AI to learn by doing, trained by playing the game millions of times. It can then use this knowledge to develop unique counter-strategies specifically designed to beat you. In the racing game Forza, the Drivatar system creates AI opponents based on the real driving data of other players. This is a small taste of a future where every non-player character could have a unique personality and behavior profile. This leap forward promises to make game worlds not just smarter, but wilder and more unpredictable. This is the dawn of smart AI, a turning point that will redefine our relationship with games. Okay, let's get into the really wild stuff. Forget pre-written quests. Imagine booting up your favorite fantasy RPG and instead being met by an AI dungeon master. Think of it like the ultimate game master from a Dungeons & Dragons session, but it lives inside your computer, and its only job is to create the most epic, personalized adventure just for you. This AI wouldn't just give you quests from a list, it would generate them on the fly, weaving a story based on your actions, your choices, and even your personality. It would be a truly unique and emergent narrative experience every single time you play. It's a game that says yes to every crazy idea you have, building the world and its story around you, not for you. Crafting a bespoke narrative experience designed to give you the perfect emotional journey. The story would no longer be a rigid path you walk, but a flowing river that carves its own channel based on the landscape of your gameplay. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a quantum leap in interactive storytelling. It's the promise of a game that truly listens to you, that collaborates with you to create a legendary tale where you are, in every sense of the word, the one and only hero. Let's talk about NPCs. For decades, they've been little more than talking signposts. But what if every NPC had a real, persistent memory and a dynamic personality? Imagine walking into a tavern where the bartender remembers you tracked mud all over the floor. The real game changer here is conversation. You could use your own voice to have a genuine, unscripted conversation with any character. Powered by advanced large language models, an NPC could understand you and respond consistently. You might have to investigate and piece together clues by having real conversations. The world would transform into a dynamic social simulation. We would start seeing them as characters we can truly connect with. We've talked about procedural generation creating infinite maps, but let's take that idea a step further. What if the game world didn't just exist for you? What if it kept living, breathing, and evolving even when you turned the console off? Imagine a world powered by a sophisticated AI simulation, where factions rise and fall, wars are fought and won, and cities are built and destroyed, all without any input from the player. You aren't the center of the universe. You're just one person living in a world that has its own history, a history that is being written in real time, all the time. This is the dream of the truly persistent, infinite game. You could log off for a week and come back to find that the small village you used as your home base has been conquered by a neighboring kingdom. The political landscape would have shifted, new alliances would have formed, and old rivalries may have ended. The world would feel truly alive because it doesn't wait for you. It has its own internal logic, its own AI-driven characters with their own ambitions, who are constantly making moves on the global stage. Your actions would still matter, of course. Maybe you could have prevented that invasion. But you are just one piece on a much larger, ever-changing chessboard. This concept could create the most incredible emergent stories. You might hear rumors of a great dragon that has awakened in the northern mountains, not because it's a pre-scripted quest, but because the simulation's ecosystem reached a point where a dragon's awakening was a natural consequence. You might stumble upon the ruins of a battle that was fought between two AI factions while you were sleeping. The game would become a work of living history, a place you could explore to uncover stories that weren't designed for you, but simply happened. It would be the ultimate sandbox, a world with real agency. This kind of AI-driven world would also create endless content. The developers wouldn't need to constantly release new expansion packs to add stories, because the world itself would be a story-generating engine. New quests and conflicts would arise organically from the simulation. The game would never truly end because the world would never stop changing. It's a mind-bogglingly ambitious idea, one that would require immense computational power. But it represents a holy grail for game design, a truly dynamic world that can surprise and enthrall players for years or even decades, always offering something new to discover. This is where things start to feel like pure science fiction, but the foundations are already being laid. What if a game could adapt not just to your actions, but to your actual emotional and cognitive state? We're talking about games that use biometric data, things like your heart rate, your galvanic skin response, and even your brain waves via EEG headsets, to understand how you're feeling in real time. The AI wouldn't just know what you're doing, it would know if you're scared, frustrated, excited, or bored. And it could use that information to change the game on the fly, to create the perfect experience for you. Imagine playing a horror game. The AI detects through your heart rate and sweat response that you're starting to get genuinely terrified. In response, it could dial up the horror even more, timing the next jump scare for the exact moment you're most vulnerable for maximum effect. Or, if it senses you're becoming too overwhelmed and are about to quit, it could subtly ease the tension, giving you a moment to catch your breath. It's a biofeedback loop where the game is actively playing you as much as you are playing it, fine-tuning the experience to keep you perfectly balanced on that knife's edge of fear and fun. This goes far beyond horror games. In an action game, the AI could recognize when you're in the zone, with your focus at its peak, and throw its most complex and challenging enemies at you. When it senses your focus is waning, it could ease off the difficulty. In a puzzle game, if the AI detects you're getting frustrated, it could offer a subtle environmental clue without you even having to ask. This isn't just about making games easier or harder, it's about personalization on a biological level, ensuring the challenge is always perfectly matched to your current state of mind. The potential for accessibility is also enormous. Games could adapt to players with different physical or cognitive abilities, creating custom-tailored experiences that are enjoyable for everyone. An AI could learn a player's reaction times and adjust the game speed accordingly, or simplify controls if it detects they are struggling. This technology could open up the world of gaming to people who were previously unable to participate. It's a powerful vision of the future, where the game literally gets on your wavelength, creating a symbiotic relationship between player and machine that makes gaming more immersive, responsive, and inclusive than ever before. Section 5. Are we in the Matrix yet? The big fun scary questions. So, we've journeyed through a future of AI storytellers, hyper-intelligent NPCs, and games that can read our minds. It's all incredibly exciting, a vision of a gaming utopia where every experience is unique, personal, and endlessly engaging. But we have to ask the big questions, right? As these simulated worlds become more and more realistic, and the AI characters within them become more and more indistinguishable from real people, where does the game end and reality begin? It's the classic sci-fi question that has fueled movies like The Matrix for decades, and it's about to become a lot less fictional. When an AI character can hold a deeply personal conversation with you, remembering your shared history and expressing what appears to be genuine emotion, how do we process that relationship? We already form powerful emotional bonds with fictional characters who are just collections of scripted lines. What happens when those characters can talk back, learn, and grow alongside us? It opens up a fascinating and slightly weird philosophical can of worms. Will we have to start considering the rights of our digital companions? Okay, maybe that's getting ahead of ourselves, but it's a fun thought experiment. Then there's the question of creativity. If an AI can generate infinite stories, infinite art, and infinite music, what is the role of the human developer? Will game design become a matter of creating the best AI engines rather than handcrafting experiences? I don't think human creativity is going anywhere. These AI systems are incredibly powerful tools, but they are still tools. They can augment and assist human creators, allowing them to build worlds and stories on a scale they could never achieve alone. The future is likely a collaboration, a partnership between human vision and artificial ingenuity to create things we can't even imagine yet. Ultimately, these questions aren't things to be afraid of. They are part of the fun, part of the grand adventure of pushing the boundaries of technology and art. The future of gaming powered by AI is a wild frontier, filled with mind-boggling potential and a few existential questions to keep things interesting. It promises worlds that are more alive, stories that are more personal, and experiences that are more deeply connected to us than ever before. It's a future where the answer to, "Are we in the Matrix?" might be, "Who cares? This is awesome. The only thing that's certain is that the game is about to change forever." So, here we are, at the end of our epic journey through the past, present, and mind-bending future of gaming. We've gone from the simple boop of a Pong paddle to the staggering promise of entire universes that live and breathe inside our machines. It's easy to get carried away and maybe a little intimidated. Is it a little scary? Maybe. It's the kind of future that makes you feel like a kid again, staring at the possibilities with wide-eyed wonder. It's about amplifying it. That will allow developers, both big and small, to build the kinds of deep, dynamic, and personal worlds they've only dreamed of. We are standing on the precipice of the next great leap forward. The next level of our collective gaming journey is loading as we speak, and from everything we've seen, it's going to be the most incredible one yet. Now, I know with all this talk of super intelligent machines and mind-reading games, there's always a little voice in the back of our heads. The voice that worries if something essential will be lost. Will games become too complex? Will AI make them less about our skill and more about the computer's whim? Will we lose that simple, pure joy we felt clutching that controller for the first time in a dimly lit basement? These are valid questions, but I'm an optimist. I believe that the core of what we love about gaming, the challenge, the discovery, the community, the GG at the end of a hard-fought match, isn't going anywhere. AI isn't here to take over. It's here to play with us. It's a new co-op partner, a new adversary, a new storyteller to share our adventures with. The magic of gaming has always been a collaboration between the creator's vision and the player's actions. AI just adds a powerful new voice to that conversation. It creates a space for more surprise, more wonder, and more of those unscripted, unforgettable moments that become the stories we tell our friends for years. It's about making the worlds behind the screen feel as boundless and full of potential as our own imaginations. The fun isn't being stolen, it's being upgraded with infinite new possibilities. The history of video games has been a story of constant evolution, of people dreaming up new ways to play. From the first pixelated paddles to the sprawling 3D worlds and the indie revolution, every great leap has been driven by a desire to create deeper, richer, and more engaging experiences. The AI revolution is simply the next chapter in that amazing story. It's a testament to that same human ingenuity, that same playful spirit that first asked, "What else can this machine do?" The answer, it turns out, is more than we ever could have dreamed. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? Simple. Keep playing, keep dreaming, keep being passionate about this incredible hobby that connects us all. The future is bright, weird, and full of games that will know us better than we know ourselves. Whether you're a hardcore raider, a casual Candy Crusher, an indie connoisseur, or someone who just loves a good story, there's a place for you in this future. The controller is in your hands, the next adventure is just over the horizon, and the best quest is always the one you haven't started yet. Thanks for watching, and as always, GG. Ready to keep the adventure going? If you enjoyed this journey through gaming history and the wild future ahead, don't forget to smash that like button. It's the power-up every creator needs. Subscribe for more epic deep dives, tech twists, and digital nostalgia drops. Got a friend who loves games or dreams in pixels? Share this video and bring them along for the ride. Drop your favorite gaming memory or wildest AI wish in the comments below. We love hearing your stories and geeky predictions. This channel is more than just videos. It's a community of dreamers, creators, and players just like you. So hit that bell to stay in the loop, join our growing squad, and let's keep exploring the worlds we love together. Game on and see you in the next level.